Now, we know that not everybody will actually get a stager to do it, but when you talk about, I think you said before about depersonalizing and decluttering, right? What can people do to actually do that? What do you mean by depersonalizing a space?
Well, I guess the first thing that comes to mind are family photos, right? Like, or, you know, someone just went, I've had a few of these clients on trips, so they've been to Africa or Southeast Asia or whatever, and they've got all their pictures, but their masks, and I actually did staged a home, and the first thing when you walked up the steps, walked into the home, he had 3 samurai swords on a sofa table, and they were all in snakeskin sheaths, you know, it's just like, oh, you know, and he just went on, he loved them, he raved about them. I said, well, you know what, here's my tagline. The way you live in your home is not the way you sell your house.
It's hard sometimes, though, right?
Well, it is, and that's a really good point, is that Terry would know when that client wants to sell, this is what's going to make a difference. So, and I just say to them, you know what, these are your treasures. He had masks all over the home as well, like some pretty scary things as well. He just, you know, packed them up, and that's what I do as part of the decluttering. I call it pre-pack.
Okay.
And a nice way to sort of give that information to your clients is they're going to be moving anyway. So, you know, let's have a stager come in, because we do consultations, but recommendations reports as well. Even if that's all they wanted, at least it's a big start. So let's take all those family photos down, all those masks off the wall, the swords, let's pack them up. And the other thing too is they can pack those things up very carefully, because they're going to be very fragile for them. Or if someone has just, you know, 30 Royal Daltons in a china cabinet or something, they're lovely. Let's keep 3.
Not everyone's speed, right?
Take pictures of their family. So we need to, like Dana says, depersonalize it, declutter it, and turn it into a marketable product. You have to change your thinking. It's not your home anymore. We need to sell this. It becomes a product.
Oh, you know what? I love that. As soon as you're listed your house, it's now a product. It's not your home. That's a great thing.
And we also look at you know, the family photos on the refrigerators.
I was going to say that. If we can walk into the kitchen, and you know, we love the kids' drawings. I love it. And as a stager, we're there to build rapport, but we also have a job to do. So we say, you know what? So keep a few pictures out, right? Because when clients do have children, which we've had those, Terry, that heritage home that we did not too long ago, you know, the moms love the kids, oh, I love it, you know, got this picture, and it's whatever. So let them have a few, but let's, you know, we don't need all of those things out, or all the magnets over fridges and things. It's too much. The eye visually, it's too busy, and when you go in to look at a home, the rule of thumb that we use is, on that first impression, that first walk-in, the further the eye can go, the bigger it translates in the mind that it's a big space, right? Because people are always about space and storage and all of that, right? So the further that eye can go, same within your place, where you could walk in and your eye could go right down to that fireplace. Even though your place was fairly narrow, it looked bigger.
Great point. Okay, so here's the last question.
I'd like to add one more thing to the decluttering, because we all think that decluttering means the stuff that we can see when we walk into a room. And that doesn't mean taking everything that's in this room and stuffing it into your closet. So we always...
Because we open the closet?
Yeah, because buyers come through, they open up the closet. So whatever you don't want people to see, put away. And also your closets need to be organized as well. I can guarantee you the buyer is going to open your closet door.
Exactly, and that's part of that pre-pack. Like what we left for you in your kitchen there, that all needed to be pre-packed. We obviously don't want the clients coming in, because what that translates into, oh, there's not enough space. And you're absolutely right. Everybody opens up closets. I went into someone's home, opened the closet up, and they had stage, according to them. Their boots fell on my head. I said, okay, let's just take a look at this, right? So they got it. And the more sort of skin in the game that seller has, and they're anxious to sell, the more they're going to realize that staging is absolutely going to make a difference.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Okay, so now the last question. Because it's always on people's minds, I know this. How much does it cost to stage? I know we can do a lot ourselves, but I can tell you, again, from my personal experience, I thought I did a good job myself, and then you amped it up.
Yeah. Well, we just gave it the wow, right?
Yes,
like, you give some good basic,
yeah.
and it's not to say it wouldn't have sold, but to get it sold in that one day, you know, get the multiple offers, high square footage in that building was great. So what I say as far as cost goes, I sometimes will put the question to people, so what's it going to cost you not to stage?
There you go.
Right? So is it going to sit on the market? You're going to have all those carrying costs. Are you going to be stressed? Or maybe a baby's coming, or someone's, you know, passed on. You want to just get this whole estate sale over with. So typically, most stagers in the Lower Mainland are going to charge about $100 an hour for that initial consultation. So we may even do a 2-hour consultation for $250, $300. We'll give you a plan, we'll make the recommendations, we'll get you on your way.
Right.
To go in and stage, typically in the Lower Mainland, it's about, say, $400 to $500 using what people have, their furnishings, for half a day, and for a whole day about $800 to $1,000, right? If the client has done a lot of their homework, then there's a cost savings right there, right? So as I said, if they're really ready to sell it and get this piece of product sold, right, or this property sold, the product, right?
For sure.
Then it's good.
And I know most of your people stage.
Yes, we do. We recommend it to everybody to stage, and that happens at different levels. Like you say, sometimes they do a little bit of the work themselves, and you come in and just do the wow factor at the end. I always look at it as an investment, because if you don't stage and it goes to market, and it's on the market for however many days, and you finally sell it, how do you know how much money you left on the table if you would have actually taken up another notch? How much money is left on the table between an average and above average home, the selling price? You may never know at the end, but it's quite significant.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And something I just wanted to add about, you know, people sometimes think, well, our furniture's not very nice or whatever, and sometimes it's not, right? People that have lived in their home for 25 or 30 years, they may still have that furniture. So there are a lot of furniture rental companies in the Lower Mainland that we all deal with.
Yes.
And I say to determine what it's going to cost you, and this is just a rough number that I use, but it seems to be fairly accurate. Think of about $1.50 to $2 a square foot for rental property. That's not your services, not the stager's services, but it works up about to that. Now, if you have a 5,000 square foot house, Terry, you don't have to, and I wouldn't recommend spending $10,000 on, although we know our market, right? I mean, $1 million property could be, you know, it's not that significant. However, it's people and their money, right? And some people don't want to put out that money, so maybe we'll just rent furnishings for the primary rooms, right? It's all about that first impression, whatever's on that first floor. You always want to do a master bedroom. If there's be a huge family room downstairs or rec room that's not really going to be used, then I'd rather see nothing in it than old tatty, because as you said, Terry, people walk in, they are buying the emotion. They may have seen those pictures, you know, at least 85% of people go to the internet first to look. So it's okay, good, they walk in, they smell something, they see something, they trip over something, done, right? It's just those few seconds for that first impression.
So you do recommend everyone get staging?
No, absolutely. And getting back to the furniture comment as well, because Vancouver has so many condominiums and townhouses, we find that people do have older furniture that maybe needs to be changed out. As well, scale of the furniture, especially in smaller spaces. I see it over and over and over again, where they have this sectional, the size of Noah's Ark, sitting in this 300 square foot living room.
And again, it's all about the space, right? So we would probably say to them, let's take off this part of the sectional, because we will try and use as much as we can of their furnishings, just like what we did with yours, Darci. We did bring in some props and things like that, just to new bedding, things like that, just to make it more attractive to that buyer. But you're absolutely right. Scale is everything, and again, it's how you got to be smart about what you're doing and your storage as well.
Absolutely.
Right? In smaller spaces, which you do a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, that's been very informative, so thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you, Darci.
Press Staging is PRES staging.com. And of course, Terry Osti, Terry, TERRY, OSTI.com. And we have a lot of resources on our website, and we'll have links to Dana's website as well. So our next interview will be with Linda Chu from Out of Chaos, and we'll be discussing organizing tips. And remember, expect more because you're worth it. Darci LaRocque and Terry Osti signing off from Real Connections Studio.